Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy, episode 425 for the week of October 29th, 2019. My name is Ryan Higgins, who's here with me this week.
And Brock Sager.
Oh, old dreaded two-man podcast.
And on Halloween week.
Oh, wait, sorry. I actually meant to do this intro a little bit different. Hello, and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy podcast. This is Ryan Higgins.
No, that was Bryce's fault. That's not our fault.
Yeah, so thank you guys for listening. If you could suffer through the last half of last week's episode, we apparently, between this and Geekbox, have done 1,000 of these and still have no idea how to record a podcast properly. So,
the internet's a tricky thing.
Well,
and computers don't really seem to work how they're supposed to.
They don't like Bryce.
Apparently.
You'd think as a nerdy white guy growing up in the Bay Area, he'd know a little bit about computers.
He's in sales.
It's not the case.
No.
Yeah, he had a hell of a time.
He's one of those, it needs to be plugged in and automatically work people.
Yeah, he had a hell of a time getting his mic working last week, and it wasn't. And we had to how did we end up recording it? It was through his iPhone, and then he recorded it back out through his iPhone. So we ended up somehow picking up our audio, and I tried for hours to get that thing to be better than it was, and I just couldn't. So, I don't know what happened. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, we're back with a thrilling episode here with me and Brock.
If any of you want to, you can at Larson Bryce on Twitter, on YouTube videos on
YouTube videos.
How to set up his mic.
Oh. Yeah. That might be good. We have a
two-man show. It's been so long, Ryan.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week, too. We got a couple weeks worth of news to cover, so we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start with sales. September 2019 sales charts.
God, they're so boring when it's just me.
It's not quite as fun with only one other person, but Brock, can you think of a few books?
September. Okay.
September.
That was
a long
a month
time ago.
This year. It was a month that happened. Okay.
Now,
so,
I while you're thinking, I should remind people that this technically, we should have talked about this last week, but the reason it's so late in the month is because, once again, Marvel did not take the number one spot. So because they didn't take the number one spot, the sales charts come out a week to 2 weeks later than normally would. When Marvel cleans up, they come out the first week of the month. Uh-huh. When it's not 100% clear, especially if someone else takes that first spot, it always gets pushed into the month. So I'm just saying, I don't know why.
Marvel is that person that you say, yeah, you're no fun.
Diamond just Marvel's like, why don't you guys push our sales charts back a week or two just to confirm? Just double count those numbers. Oh no, we didn't hit number one. Okay, why don't you count a third time?
Yeah. Assholes. Okay, so apparently the number one book is not a Marvel book.
It is not a Marvel book. It's also not a DC book.
Oh, Walking Dead?
No, Walking Dead's over.
For September?
Yep, September 2019.
What the F came out in September that was not... It's an Image book.
It's an Image book. It's a big, big title. Not the Record Breaker.
Not the Record Breaker. I'm just trying to remember what...
Just the issue right before the Record Breaker.
Yeah. Spawn 300.
Spawn number 300 was the number one book of September. 262,000 copies sold with 14 or 15 covers, I think. We did really, really well with Spawn 300. We sold a lot of copies. Less so with Spawn 301. Nowhere near as many as Spawn 302. But people came up for 300, so that's great. And at $8 a book, too.
Yeah.
Big.
I read it.
You done for another 300 issues?
I think I picked up the next one. I think I picked up 301 to go, okay, they obviously put the 300s, they chopped the story into two parts.
Yeah. Because
whatever.
300 is the record breaker, right? So Todd McFarlane now having the longest running independent American comic book, beating out Cerebus.
Yeah.
At 301 issues. I mean, Todd McFarlane has not done all of those. That still is Cerebus.
Yeah.
That's at the dinner table. Coming up close. It's like 350. That and Savage Dragon are pretty... Or 250. That and Savage Dragon are very close. And that's the same creator in every issue.
So Larson, if he hits that mark...
Eric Larson, if he gets 301, he beats Cerebus.
Okay.
Oh, have there been Savage Dragon issues that other people... I mean, other people I think worked in it, but he did.
He's
wrote and drawn
most of them.
I think every issue. So.
Yeah. Okay. There's probably a Hawks and Pox issue.
There's a couple. There's a couple. The number 3 spot is House of X number 5 at 139,000 copies. The number 4 spot is Powers of X number 5 at 137,000 copies. The number 5 spot is Powers of X number 4 at 127,000. And number 6 is House of X 4 at 119,000. So you see what's happening here, right, as time is going on. And the issues are going up based on their, being able to reorder an FOC based on the previous issues. So 4, 4, 5, and 5. So it's actually going up as it goes. 6, I would think 6.
6 will probably be
around
just under 5, but should be above 4.
Yeah, somewhere in that range. I think a lot of stores may have cut back a couple copies into 6 because by that point stores are starting to have copies. But yeah, I mean, an entire. Basically, a 12-issue weekly series is coming in at over 100,000 copies per issue is huge. So that's humongous. So that's 3, 4, 5, and 6.
So I've gotten 5 books down.
And of course, this is the merged spot. So there is a DC book on the top 10 that had variant covers at a different price. This, of course, is the combined list to combine the 2 listings to 1 listing, which does actually move. Funny enough, it moves another book based on the same character out of the top 10.
A Batman book?
Not Batman, but close.
Not a Batman book.
No.
Oh, Deceased?
Deceased is on here. Deceased, A Good Day to Die is the number 10 book at 90,000 copies.
Man, that one shot came out.
It's the one shot. Yeah. All
right, so I got 6 books.
If you want to go to number 9, it's Marvel. It's an event book.
Marvel had an event going on?
They always have an event going on. 87,000 miniseries attached to it. The main series that people care about.
I don't even...
related to a major character. It's a bad guy book.
Thanos Rising.
What? This is like 2014? No. Spider-Man related book.
Oh, Absolute Carnage.
Absolute Carnage, number 3, is the number 9 title at 95,000 copies. So number 8 is that book that bumped number 10 off the list in the fused category. The number 10 book would have been Harleen number 1, the Black Label book.
Oh, wow. How many did it?
84,000 copies.
That's not bad. Especially for the Prestige format.
Right.
Prestige Plus.
Correct. Prestige Plus is the new name for
it. The obesity of comic books.
It's the magazine format. But another Harley book bumped it off because of
Harley
the
and
fused.
Ivy.
Harley and Ivy, number 1. Man, those Artgerm covers.
Except that Artgerm cover, like, if people got it in the store and they were like,
this doesn't line up. Yeah.
I don't want to buy this.
Oh, they bought them.
But it's Artgerm. Fuck.
Oh, they bought them. Trust me. Line next to each other, they don't look good. In front and behind each other, look perfectly fine.
Yeah, no. File the way, they look great.
Harley and Ivy, number 1, 110,000 copies. So we have, number 11, 10, with DC's 9 is Absolute Carnage, 8 is Harley and Ivy, 6, 5, 4, 3 are House and Powers, 1 is Spawn. So you're missing number 7, and this is,
what was number 2?
We haven't got to number 2 yet. Number 7, clearly at this point it's the lowest sales this book has had, and the delays are not helping.
Doomsday Clock.
Doomsday Clock, number 11, at 115,000 copies, but still well over 100,000 copies for Doomsday Clock, so that's still really, really good numbers. And number 2, it's a Marvel book. It's a miniseries. It's written by the internet's favorite director of all time.
Oh, that Spider-Man book?
J.J. Abrams' kids.
That's not a Spider-Man book?
J.J. Abrams' son, Spider-Man number 1 at 156,000 copies. It's a number 2 book of the month, so big month for that book. I wonder what number 2 will do. Probably not quite as much.
No. I'm surprised, like, Batman. So Batman is like just at the
Batman were 12 and 13 right after Harleen. Amazing Spider-Man's 14. Curse of the White Knight is 15.
Curse of the White Knight's been really good.
Batman Superman's at 19. There's a couple right there.
It's like Batman got shifted. The X-Men shifted Batman to the next 10, right?
Yeah. Looking down, just scrolling down a little bit, personal favorite, Legion of Superheroes Millennium, number 1, came in at number 29 at 84,000 copies, and that's a good That's a good.
It was really, really good. If you haven't read that yet, you should read it.
For a Legion book, that's pretty damn good numbers. Flash Forward number 1 came in at number 33 of 46,000 copies, which is pretty surprising. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's all right.
I don't know. Tempest Fugit is kind of...
Yeah, it's that asshole from Sideways. I hate that they're making him a thing.
But it's kind of like that Hickman yellow guy from...
Yeah. It's
Avengers.
totally... I hate that guy. Yeah. Your favorite Batman vs. Ra's al Ghul number 46 spot, 39,000 copies. I really want to see number 2 on that.
Why are they printing that? They're just wasting paper.
Is it the first non-Marvel? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Take that back. It's not TMNT. Bloodshot. Where were you? I just saw you.
Bloodshot number 1.
Bloodshot number 1 from Valiant. Yeah, it came in here. I just scrolled past it. No, I lost it. Where it is. Bloodshot number 1 from Valiant, 41,000 copies. In the number 41 spot as well. I did not watch that trailer. I do not care about Bloodshot.
What trailer? The movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't watch it. No, I read the first issue. It's okay. I think the issue I'm having with Valiant currently is they're not doing very many ongoing series anymore.
It's all just miniseries.
It's kind of all just miniseries. Yeah. Like it works for characters on the peripheral.
Yeah.
But like not having a Harbinger book and an Exo Manowar book and like these solid characters that they have, I think really hurts the line. So
yeah, I mean they just have a lot of
Bloodshot's
random
been
stuff.
renumbered so many times, like since they came back in 20.
Yeah, it's just nonstop.
When did they come? 2006.
When Valiant relaunched?
Yeah, was it 2006?
Yeah, sounds right. 2008, something like that. Yeah.
Like I think it was 2000. Yeah, it was around that time. I'm still reading most of it. I mean, I'm enjoying it. Like, it's coherent. So it's like when Valiant started, you read those. I mean, you read everything in order. So it's kind of like there are jumping on points, but it is one of those things where the universe kind of there's a linear story that you have to read.
Yeah.
So
the number 1 outside of Spawn, of course, that is. The next creator-owned book that I see on the list here is Something is Killing the Children, number 1 from Boom, which is the number 57 book at 33,648 copies. Very under-ordered. We ordered a shitload of copies and sold out immediately, so way under-ordered.
Once and Future King on there, too?
Let me look and see where Once and Future is. But Something is Killing the Children, the first issue is fantastic.
Yeah.
Very creepy. Once and Future, number 2... is 27,000 copies, the number 73 spot. But number 1, the reprint, coming in another 4,000 copies, so that's good.
Yeah.
All the reorders. Some really good books. Oh, it just happened, and Once the Future number 2 just happens to be right above one of my favorite single issues I've read recently, and that is the Riddler Year of the Villain one-shot.
That was actually pretty good.
By Mark Russell.
It was
fucking hilarious.
It was so sad. Like, dude, it was just sad.
I need Tom King, to write a King Tut story.
Oh, Jesus.
In Tut's house, okay?
Why?
Did you see his house? It's like the fair. It's like the pyramid. Not the pyramid. It's like the what do they call it? The Sphinx.
The Sphinx.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just a random Sphinx house in the middle of the middle of just some suburban neighborhood. Dude, I did not know what I was.
Are you just gonna make anything having to do with suburban America?
Yes.
Tom King writes
Tom King needs to write King Tut living in suburban America. I don't know what I was expecting from this book, because I was like, these year
the Year of the Villain one shots have been mostly pretty good. Like,
yeah,
Black Mass was good,
but
Riddler was really good. Joker
really
was really good.
Yeah, Joker was messed up.
The Black Adam one from last week was pretty good.
That's the only one I haven't read yet, but really funny. In the top 300, Marvel has 107 books. DC has 83, Image has 28. IDW is 19, Dark Horse is 16, down the list. And of the top 300 comics shipped to comic book stores, Marvel 47.98% of the market, DC at 32.16%, Image at 7.73%. Image has bounced around the 10% mark, but they've been around 7% recently. So
they've been kind of around 9 to 7.
Yeah.
In recent years.
Total number of new comics released: Marvel at 99 new comics, DC at 83. So DC's numbers are going way back up. Image at 42, IDW at 25, Dark Horse at 19. Let me get down to the graphic novel list. We don't touch on those as often. To round out your top 300, the number 300 book is Dynamite Studios' Death-Defying Devils at 4,739 copies sold.
People read that?
I sell one of each cover to Blake.
Did you find the graphic novels yet?
Well, I'm looking at. I don't like these. Just like there's like weird listings down way at the bottom. The lowest book that's listed in their ranking here is Action Labs Banjax, the number 522 book of the month at 876 copies. So there you go.
876 copies.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, would Diamond ever just sell one copy of a comic?
No, not for like a new book. No. If it was at that point, they wouldn't be stocking them. There is some, there's definitely some differences in graphic novels versus single issue comics as far as what comes from Diamond and goes to American comic stores. Because while Raina Telgemeier's new graphic novel Guts, which was the number one book on Amazon the day it came out.
Yeah, that was the kids.
Yeah,
the kids one. It's it's a standard, like each book is a color, and then one like emoji like image in the center of the cover.
I'm smiling. I mean, her books
smile or something
next to like Dogman. I mean, they're like the biggest comic books on the market right now. The new volume was the number. It was the 25th highest selling graphic novel through Diamond at 1,934 copies. However, the book scan had 76,000 copies sold through bookstores. So, and clearly many stores are getting their comics now from bookstore distributors. We still mostly go through Diamond just because we don't sell enough to really make it worthwhile.
You're talking about the YA stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm able to get most of it through Diamond.
Yeah. Like I know,
but there's a lot of
Diamond has Charles Soule's Anyone book was solicited a few months ago.
Yeah, and Diamond is. I mean, I think Diamond is getting better. They are keeping stock on a lot of the kids' stuff, on a lot of the young adult stuff. They are better than they were. We don't sell enough to. I mean, I do orders occasionally through the book distributors, but we don't sell enough to really make it worthwhile. Because I can usually get them through Diamond, and when they start to run low, by the time I'm out, Diamond's gotten me my copies. So it hasn't really been. We do occasional orders, but yeah.
But some stores are starting to get more and more of their product from.
Oh yeah.
Bookstore.
Many stores are, because clearly a lot of stores are selling those. Yeah, because the graphic novel sales through Diamond are plummeting, down 20% in units and 12% in dollar, versus September 2018. So from Diamond Comics, again, Batman Damned #1 was the #1 graphic novel. In September, 11,352 copies, followed by Umbrella Academy Volume 3, Paper Girl 6, Monsters 4, Immortal Hulk 4, Heroes in Crisis hardcover. And again, by that point, you're looking at 4,000 copies. And that was, that's a reorder. Killing Joke's a reorder.
Yeah.
Batman Volume 10's a reorder. So a lot of these are Here's a Crisis. What's up? Was that September?
It was.
That can't be new. 4,000 copies new? That doesn't sound right. Killing Joke obviously wasn't. I mean, that's a reorder. A lot of graphic novels being sold outside of comic book stores, or even being sold to comic book stores from markets outside of Diamond. You're going to get a lot of your restocks coming in from.
And the thing is like
from other places.
Your numbers are going to be lower on those because the amount that can actually be.
Well, here I can actually go down to the number 500 graphic novel of the month, which is Star Wars Vader Dark Visions, which was 168 copies sold through Diamond for the month. So, yeah. Clearly, a lot of people are getting their stuff from outside Diamond at this point.
Well, the other thing, too, is you have to remember that, stocking graphic novels versus stocking single issues, they're bigger, they're bulkier. Like, you're only going to have one on the shelf. You're not necessarily going to have 2 or 3.
For a lot of stores,
for a lot of, for majority of the product. Like, ordering something like Heroes in Crisis and ordering multiple copies at launch, right, or when it comes out, that's that's where you're going to see a bump. But
well, there are just different stores, right? I mean, we are definitely more superhero focused.
Yeah.
We did a lot of independent, a lot of kids stuff, but clearly we're more superhero single issue focused store. There's a lot of stores that are way heavier towards graphic novels.
Yeah.
Certain stores that are way heavier towards walk-ins and the all ages stuff. So yeah, every store is different. Diamond services the stores like us much better. If you need weekly restocks of 20 copies of Randa Telgemeier stuff and that's just not Diamond's not your shop, right?
Yeah.
That's not your vendor. You need to go to direct with Scholastic, or you need to go through Bookazine or one of the other.
But if you need to reorder Marvel Essentials
but
or
the Marvel DC Image, the main stuff that Diamond is the exclusive distributor on, they almost always have it stock, and when they're out, everyone else is out too. Like, that's the publisher, that's not the distributor.
Yeah.
So it just really depends on the shop. But so that's why you really got to take a kind of grain of sand when you see these sales charts numbers, especially for comic books, for the graphic novels, because they're going to be very, very different than what the overall market is, right? I mean, ICV2 and The Beat had a good write-up on kind of book scan numbers for 2018, which is book sales, comic book graphic novel sales through bookstores and Amazon and Walmart and places like that. And obviously the numbers are very different than comic book stores because it's just a different market. So, yeah, it's great. Mm-hmm. We have a bunch of random topics. We had a few things from last week. Let's get to a couple.
It's like leftovers.
Yeah, we got a bunch of random stuff, a bunch of quick hits, a lot of TV, and
like we need more TV
news stuff to talk about. I want to talk about Watchmen, the CW premieres. We'll maybe hold off on some of that till we have a few more people here. I think we talked Watchmen very briefly.
I can do some of the CW ones if you want to just do like quick hits for today.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched. I know I had someone asked about Batwoman too, so I've watched the first 2.5 episodes. I just didn't finish the third episode yet of Batwoman
because they're on 4 now.
Yeah, 4 was just so people that don't follow me on social media or whatever, I'm one of the many victims of the PG&E's Northern California power outages. So while a few weeks ago we had our power out for it was only half a day, it was like 12, 13 hours or something like that. We were out for a good 48 hours over the weekend, so Saturday night through Monday night I didn't have power. So get to go now to the CW app and catch Supergirl and Batwoman that I missed.
Oh, God. You got to suffer through those commercials.
Fortunately, HBO reshows everything I needed to watch, so that was all, last week tonight, and Watchmen were re-aired. So my TiVo picked those up. And
yeah, they get re-aired, or you can literally on-demand
Well,
them.
yeah. I mean, I have HBO Go.
When you have HBO Go, you can literally on-demand it the next day.
Yeah, of course. You can do it. You can do it before they air on the West Coast.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So we're all back up. So I haven't seen anything from this past week. But the first couple episodes, that one I liked. That shit's good. And they introduced Tommy Elliott in the third episode. So I don't know if he's going to be.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Huh?
I haven't seen 3 yet.
I don't know if that's going to be if he's going to be a regular occurring villain or not.
That's good.
I figure he has to be.
Well, I had heard that they were introducing a bat villain, but I didn't know who it was. So
yeah,
but I think Batwoman is. It works. It follows.
It'd be a good takeover for Arrow too.
Yeah. So, I've been enjoying Black Lightning.
Yeah. So Black Lightning is the one I fell back on because it's not connected to the rest. So because of the crossovers, I just haven't been it's not high on my list. So I have them. I just haven't watched last season yet. So
yeah, I don't know how he's going to tie in with the rest of them.
Yeah.
Going forward, because I know they pull him into continuity with the Crisis. So,
right, but I don't think it's going to have any. His show is not going to cross over.
His show specifically is not going to cross over, but I think
he's going to be.
He's going to be pulled into it, so I think you're going to see something happen in there.
Yeah.
Arrow's been, okay. It's kind of a what is it? Walk down memory lane, but like a crises down memory. I don't know. It's it's
Arrow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, Arrow. Every episode's been a little kind of a different parallel Earth, and now he's traveling to kind of deal with the coming crisis. That and Flash, they're both way heavier lead up to the crisis than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah,
and Flash has been pretty.
And I haven't seen Supergirl, so I don't know.
Supergirl's been pretty much the same as it is. I know. I haven't seen this week's episode yet, but I know that Jimmy, the actor plays Jimmy Olsen. He's off the show, so I don't know if it's permanent or whatever, but he's off for now. So, but I liked him. He did a good job.
So with all these CW shows and the crisis coming up, you know what the CW really needs?
More superhero
shows.
Well, Brock, why didn't you ask?
I'm not asking for them. Give us a break.
Superman and Lois is going to start, and why isn't it called Lois and Clark? Superman and Lois is going to be premiering fairly next year, I would guess. Tyler Hoechlin, who's Superman, and Elizabeth Tulloch, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. She's played Lois Lane on Supergirl. They are getting their own spin-off TV show. So no real info on that past. It's happening.
There's another CW.
It's another CW show. I don't know if it's limited. Don't know if it's a miniseries. Don't know if it's ongoing. Don't know if they're canceling Supergirl and replacing it with this. No info about any of this.
Well, honestly, I think that.
But there is a twist, and I wonder if this is going to come in Crisis.
Oh, okay.
So the kind of pitch for the show is the world's most famous superhero and comic books' most famous journalism. Follow the world's most famous superhero and comic books' most famous journalist as they deal with all the stress, pressures, and complexities that come with being working parents in today's society. We're getting John, baby. They're going to bring in John.
Does this mean we're going to get Damian?
Come on.
Then you know what they're going to do.
They're going to bring Damian and the Batwoman and John's in Superman, and I'm going to be so happy.
Then you know what they're going to do, right?
What's that?
They're going to spin off another CW show called The Super Sons, where we see them as teenagers.
Don't even get me started.
And this time, there's going to be a Legion of Superheroes season where they go into the future.
Don't even get me started. So very excited. Now, obviously, Arrow's ending. Batwoman just got picked up for a full season, so that's going 22 episodes, season 1. So,
okay, so I'm tired of the 22 episode format.
Never gonna end. It's network television. That's what they all do.
But that's the thing. Is I understand it's network television, but cut it down. Give us 16 or
it'll be 2 13-episode shows.
Fuck.
and then it's 26 episodes, so it's even more.
Son of a bitch. Well, but then it's different shows and they're smaller and they're easier to binge,
I guess. Yeah, so that's cool. Who knows when that? I mean, I'm assuming they'll talk about it post-crisis. Post-crisis. Oh my god, are we gonna have a post-crisis CW now?
Fuck.
Oh my god, which crisis? Which post-crisis? Oh no. Oh god. Well, Brock, if that was not enough
on the crisis,
if that was not enough
for TV.
Today,
son of a bitch.
HBO Max announced,
which is Warner Brothers rollout streaming app,
which is Warner Brothers Plus, rolled out its all the info of its streaming app. I think it's in May 2020 is when it comes out.
It may come out in 2020.
I think it's in May 2020 is when it
may
comes
come out.
No, it's coming out, and there are 2 live action
shows,
DC superhero TV shows coming exclusively.
So
now Doom Patrol Season 2 is going to air on HBO Max as well as DC Universe streaming service. So DC Universe.
So what's going to happen with the DC Universe stuff? Are they just going to absorb it in?
Nobody knows. As of right now, no.
So but am I going to be able to get the DC stuff that's going on the Warner Pro or HBO Plus?
Haven't a clue. The 2 new shows, the first one by Greg Berlanti is Green Lantern.
Yay.
And the second show is an anthology called Strange Adventures. With the
Strange Adventures, I'm
aptly named miniseries coming up later this year or later next year by Tom King and Mitch Gerrits and Doc Shanner doing a show about Adam Strange. Let me see if
comic?
a comic about Adam Strange. Yeah. Let me see if I can grab the.
So the Green Lantern one, whatever. Like,
what the fuck? What do you mean? What do you mean? Whatever. Green Lantern TV show?
you had Jeff Johns.
Greg Berlanti wrote the Jeff Johns movie, too, right? I mean, I don't know if you know that.
He wrote the movie?
Yeah. Or one of the people involved in the movie, yeah.
If he wrote the movie and that's the pile of shit that we got, I really don't want to see the TV show.
But look at all the Arrow stuff. That's all him, too.
Oh, God. Okay, fine. He learned from his mistake. Does it mean I'm going to get the service? No.
Let's see. So this is a quote from Hollywood Reporter. It says, this is from Greg Berlanti. He says, both of these original DC properties we'll be creating for HBO Max will be unlike anything seen on television. Berlanti, who now has 21 live-action scripted originals across 7 outlets, said on Tuesday.
Fuck.
An anthology series of cautionary tales set in a world where superpowers exist, and in what promises to be our biggest DC show ever made, we will be going to space with the Green Lantern television series, but I can't reveal any more about that just yet. So he wrote the screenplay for the Green Lantern movie alongside Michael Green, Mark Guggenheim, and Michael Goldberg.
Woohoo, they really butchered that one.
And then they did Arrow, so that works.
Well, yeah, they learned from their mistakes because I think Jeff Johns yelled at them enough. Or the internet yelled at them enough.
So I am
It's a DC
excited.
property. You have a boner a mile fucking long. Like,
all right, so here's everything currently involved by Greg Berlanti.
Oh, shit.
For CW, Katie Keene, Batwoman.
Katie Keene?
Yeah, it's the other upcoming Archie.
Oh, okay.
The other Archie series. Batwoman, Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Black Lightning, Legend of Tomorrow, Riverdale, All American. On Fox, Prodigal Son. On NBC, Blind Spot. On CBS, God Friended Me. On DC Universe, Titans, Doom Patrol, and Stargirl. On Netflix, You, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Girls on the Bus, I don't even know that one. On HBO Max, Flight Attendant, Green Lantern, Strange Adventures, and Equal, which is a documentary. There you go. A lot of stuff. So we have lots of stuff coming.
Jesus.
TV shows, multiple TV shows. Superman, Green Lantern. I want them all, baby. Give them to me. I can't.
Well, why? Because your TiVo's not even going to have power to be able to record this shit.
That is true. Once it's back on, I'll stream it on HBO Max. How long do they hold the HBO Max name? I give it like 18 months.
Like
it's the dumbest. It's the worst.
Stupid. They need to just do Warner Brothers or just the WB streaming.
Right.
Like it just needs to be WB streaming. Like that's it. Like it the big W and the big B just boom. Like I can see the icon on somebody's like tablet or whatever, just the big WB, and you push it and you go into the Warner Brothers experience.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I get it, but it's just when you think HBO, you don't think Sesame Street. It's such a weird. What are you
talking about? They did that documentary on Almo, didn't they?
I'm just saying it just does not make a lot of sense.
There's so much shit to watch.
There's a lot. A couple other movie and TV show news before we move on. Officially confirmed for the Wonder Woman movie. Pedro Pascal, who's been cast in the movie, and he was an actor. We didn't know what role he was going to play. Patty Jenkins tweeted out the other day officially that yes, he is playing Maxwell Lord on Wonder Woman, and especially, God, please be sleazy 80s Maxwell Lord. If we get a little blue and gold in there, it's a fire and ice.
I just want the nosebleed. That's all I want. It's just that little, just the nosebleed.
I really want to see what they're going to do in Maxwell Lord. Do
you think Checkmate's going to feature heavily in the Wonder Woman movie?
I mean, who knows, right? I've no clue. Haven't a clue.
Okay.
So that's cool. That's always good to see. We got some confirmation. So Maxwell Lord's going to be in there, and I guess no real surprise, but Freeform has officially canceled Cloak and Dagger. It's funny. I was talking to Marshall, a guy here at Store Marshall, about this earlier today, and he watches a lot of the shows. And asked about Cloak and Dagger. They're on my TiVo. Again, just haven't watched them yet. I said, yeah, I'll get to this someday because I know they're crossing over with Runaways. They're going to be on the next season of Runaways. And I was like, what do you think of Cloak and Dagger? And he goes, well, I never hear a bad word about it. I also never hear a good word about it. Because no one talks about Cloak and Dagger.
Nobody watches
period.
it.
And I mean, with all the HBO or with the Disney Plus stuff, I'm a little surprised they didn't maybe give Cloak and Dagger another season, or at least wait to throw it on Disney Plus.
Yeah. But again, throwing it on Disney Plus would kind of throw a wrench in the Marvel continuity that they've established with the lineup that they have coming out with WandaVision and the Hawkeye show.
Doesn't matter. That and Runaways can be its own little separate thing. It doesn't have to tie in with the rest of them. And Runaways, I hear people talk about Runaways. Again, I haven't seen
episodes
have
played in the store with no audio.
Yeah,
and I look up going, hey, there's the dinosaur.
Yeah. No, I'd like to watch it someday.
You don't see him very often because CG costs money.
Yeah. I'd like to watch it someday, but I have not watched either of those yet.
Well,
but now Cloak and Dagger's over, so...
You haven't watched a comic book themed TV show? Why?
I watched most of them. I've recorded most of them. I'm back right now on... So, technically Cloak and Dagger, because I haven't seen any of them, but I did TiVo them. Walking Dead, I haven't seen last season or this season. Black Lightning, I haven't seen that last season or this season. I didn't finish Gifted yet. I only have a couple episodes left. And I think there's one more. Oh, Legion. I didn't see the second or third season.
I still haven't watched Daredevil season 3.
Oh, that's different. Those are on Netflix. I'm only looking at the stuff I've recorded. Because then there's all the end of the Netflix stuff. So the only one I finished for Netflix was
Iron Fist.
No, it was Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
So yeah, and I'm like halfway through season 2 of Iron Fist, so it's okay. So lots of TV stuff to talk about, but we should add a few comic book related topics on here before we get to.
Sounds good to me.
Before we get to
questions,
we have.
Are we going to do an email?
So we have Wonder Woman 750 in January from the new solicitations.
Well, yeah, because Wonder Woman wasn't in the solicitations for December. I'm like,
yeah, and
it's because they pre-did them for November solicitations because of those weird special covers.
Yes, and there's a bit of a anyway. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. Wonder Woman 750. Now this is only a one-time deal. It's not going back to legacy numbering. It's only being renumbered for that one issue, so it's still going to be its traditional numbering, but it's also going to be issue 750.
It'll be just traditional numbering for this series, but it's
issue 750. It's going to be called 750, but it won't be renumbered. There won't be a 751. They're just doing it. So
where do I put this when I file it?
Right before the next issue and after
it's 86 or 87, right?
Yes. We have Wonder Woman writers like Greg Rucka, Gail Simone, Vita Ayala, Marguerite Bennett, Jeff Loveness, Steve Orlando. A couple new creators working on Wonder Woman, Cami Garcia, who did the Teen Titans Raven, and the current
that one was really good.
Joker Harley, Criminal Sanity out this week.
I haven't. No, that was Criminal Sanity was out before. It's Harleen out this week.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
I haven't read this Criminal Sanity yet.
Shannon and Dean Hale, who are doing the upcoming OGN Diana, Princess of the Amazons, and Mariko Tamaki, who did Supergirl Being Super, and the Harley Quinn Breaking Glass.
That Harley Quinn Breaking Glass people need to read. It's so good.
Yeah, I heard it's really good. Art by Jolie Jones, Colleen Doran, Jesus Moreno, Nicola Scott, other people.
If Nicola Scott didn't do any Wonder Woman in 750, you have a problem.
And like the action and detective issues in the past, the 1,000 issues, they're going to do some. They're going to do the decade cover. So there's a 1940s cover by Joshua Middleton, a 1950s cover by Jenny Frison, a 1960s cover by J. Scott Campbell, a 1970s cover by Oliver Copiel, an 80s cover by George Perez, a 90s cover by Brian Boland, a 2000 cover by Adam Hughes, and a 2010s cover by Jim Lee.
Fuck, you're going to sell a lot of sets.
All of those.
Holy shit.
All of those. All of them.
It took them two books to do it, but they finally were like, yeah, we should probably put a solid lineup on our base ones.
We should probably put the biggest artists in the industry on the variant covers. Yeah, so $9.99, 96 pages, January 22nd, 2020.
Are you going to Pre-sale comicsconspiracy.biz.
Customer.comichub.com. Sign up for those sets when the new previews catalog loads. It's going to be good. It's going to be a big, big issue. What else do I got here? No, I got a few things. Make a note here. Meow. Wonder Woman 750.
Why the fuck are you saying meow?
No, don't worry about it.
I really am concerned now.
We have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 11 ongoing or 11 X-Men related comic books that will be coming out as of a few months from now. So we have all the Dawn of X stuff. We've heard about the new Wolverine series, Moira X. There's an X-Men FF miniseries coming up by Chip Zdarsky.
I'm hearing a dump truck back up to every comic store.
Yeah.
And just shit is pouring out of the back of it.
And a new series coming up that just got announced, being written by Jonathan Hickman, which is going to be called Giant Size X-Men. So it's kind of like a team-up anthology book. So if you, I have to assume his days co-writing New Mutants is limited, because I would assume this is going to be his.
So did you read Marauders?
Not yet.
I read Marauders.
Yeah.
It has the feeling of being like the editorial is kind of the same, in the same vein and stuff like that. As,
did we talk about X-Men #1? No, we didn't, because Bryce was here.
Because Bryce hadn't read it yet.
Yeah, I thought X-Men #1 was very.
We talked briefly about it with the whole.
It just was kind of there.
Scott and Jean and Logan.
But that was like not. Yeah, we barely. I mean, that wasn't really the issue. That was just a thing in the back. Yeah, X-Men #1 for a jumping on point straight after House of Powers.
It just continues straight from House of Powers. Like it's not.
It just wasn't like it didn't really do anything.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of a weak issue. But I know. I'm still in.
Marauders. I read Marauders and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's a lot of creators, and they're not Jonathan Hickman, so I would, I have a feeling, these books will be.
Many.
Some of them might not last quite as long as the others. Obviously, a book like Marauders for Fallen Angels, the shelf life is limited. So yeah.
Well, all I can say is somebody at Marvel doesn't like Kitty Pryde. Like,
why?
I don't know. Like, remember her Stuck in Space thing with the bullet?
Yeah.
And like now it's like
she got some busted up nose.
Huh?
There's some busted nose in this new book for some reason.
Yeah, so the premise is she can't go to Krakoa.
Just make a fucking egg baby and make her new.
She can't go to Krakoa. I don't understand it. Like she can't go into the portals to go to Krakoa.
Is she not there?
No, she wasn't. So. And so she sailed a ship. She stole a ship and sailed to Krakoa.
Okay.
And then tried to enter Krakoa and still couldn't enter through a doorway.
Okay.
Like on Krakoa.
Okay.
The beach, she couldn't go through the defense port. I don't know it. And so
because you know why? Because his fake ass Professor X doesn't want her slipping through his little helmet thing.
Probably.
Yeah. Fake ass Professor X. Can't believe all you people think that's really Professor X. What's wrong with you? You ever read a comic book before? So stupid.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's Thor. It's Zorn.
Thor?
Zorn.
Magneto Zorn or fake dumb Zorn?
Both? I don't know.
Terrible.
So
people that didn't realize what Morrison was talking about.
The premise behind the book is I can't go, and other mutants can't. We can't reach other mutants, so I'm going to go get the other mutants and bring them here.
Okay.
And she's like pulling contraband. She's bringing contraband. I'm like, why can't somebody just forklift this shit through a portal? Like, why are you bringing bourbon to Wolverine on a ship? Why isn't somebody just going to Smart and Final, getting a cart and pushing it through the portal? Like,
weird.
There's really bad inconsistencies with it, and it's kind of a joke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then you're like, why is her nose busted up in this?
Yeah. I don't know.
It was one of the issues I was like, I'll read it, but
yeah.
I don't have high hopes.
Yeah. Well, we got 2 more little comic news stories to cover here before we move on to questions.
A quick question, though, about on your end.
Of course.
So those 11
it sold really well.
11 new X-Men titles.
Yeah.
Are you ready for that?
I'll read them all for a while. I read all red, blue, and gold. The fuck, I can stomach these. And that's not even the most. I mean, at that point, I think there was 16 X-Men books coming out, during Red, Blue, and Gold? Because remember, you had all that weird shit like Mr. and Mrs. X and Iceman. There was a lot of fucking garbage coming out during that point.
I really wish they would like tone it down though. Like, you're kind of, it's like
11, but like 7 or 8 of those are double or at least 6 of those are double shipping. So it's more like
18.
It's more like like 18 or 19.
But it's like just you have Hickman
and Deadpool. I don't know if Deadpool counts.
You have
Deadpool's on
he's a human hybrid. He's a human hybrid.
Oh, fucking morons. Deadpool's a goddamn mutant. Okay, like I don't want to hear it.
He's a human hybrid.
Hey. Let's move on to a topic that I know me and you will be both happy and sad about.
Oh, God.
Happy, because it's Tom King's Batman and Catwoman book.
Yes.
Sad, because it's delayed from its original launch date of January 2020.
Oh.
So people wondered, why are there 2 issues of Batman solicited for January? The whole idea was that Batman was going to drop to once a month, because we were going to have the Batman Catwoman as of the second title. All right. Well, we have a word from Tom King. He says, while working on the initial issues of Batcat, Clayman and I started to realize we may have something good here, a Mr. Miracle or a vision in the world of Batman. An attempt to do what Frank Miller did with Dark Knight Returns.
Stop for a second.
I didn't need to hear that. A defining of the character. But to accomplish something that ambitious... Batman character. To accomplish something that ambitious requires a minimizing of compromises. Dark Knight did not have fill-in artists, so Clay offered to do the whole thing, 22 pages, but of course you need time. With the best artists in comics say do it right, you don't say no. But all that means is Batcat is pushed back a bit, which is why it is not in the January solicits. The first scripts are in. Clay's drawing them now. They look gorgeous. I, hopefully like you, can't wait for this one to be out. Thank you all for your patience.
Yeah, well, if they're pushing number 1 to drop the week of Valentine's Day, I could give a rat's ass.
Ship
that.
So he says, we plan to do it like we had in Heroes in Crisis with guest artists telling parts of the story, but now it'll all be one thing. That's what he told Newsarama.
If anything, we need to let Tom King know to reduce the amount of goddamn flowers that Clay has to draw, and it might go a little faster.
So they
No, the thing I like that they are telling people in advance.
Yeah.
Before the solicitation hit, like officially hit, they were like, and they're giving valid reasons and saying that it's, they're not going, we're doing it because we don't have something. We're doing it because we want to do the best product possible.
Yeah.
So,
and look, if you have a book that really isn't going to touch on any sort of current continuity stuff, Batman, it's very much his own thing. The Batman book is shipping. That's fine.
Yeah.
Batman Catwoman, it's a side thing. Yes, it's picking up from his run, but it's not. There's not 25 miniseries spinning out of it and crossovers. It's not the main Batman title.
It's not affecting major continuity.
It's not
for
affecting
anything,
the other books. If they want to have this book take a little while, that's fine. If Tom King was on Batman and he's like, we're going to put Batman on hiatus for 4 months, that's a huge fucking problem.
Yeah.
This side book being on hiatus for a few months till they get more issues done, that's fine.
Yeah, it's like if Mr. Miracle had, 1 or 2 delays?
I mean, it took a while to get those out. There were a couple
delays, but for the most part, it's a self-contained story, so it's not... It's no Doomsday Clock delays.
What a segue into our final news topic of the week.
I wouldn't call this a news topic. I would call this you trolling topic.
It's not. I'm not. I just report the news.
You're not reporting. You're trolling now.
I report the news when Gary Frank on Twitter tweets, "The last page of Doomsday Clock is going into the scanner. I can't believe I got there. It's over, baby. Doomsday Clock is done and on its way to DC. It's been written. It's been drawn. Now we have the inking, coloring, and printing to do. We are weeks away from FOC. December 18th, I believe FOC, our final order cutoff, the week we would have to do our final order for
this
DC.
Week of Thanksgiving, right?
Should be, that sounds
week of Thanksgiving?
Right. Let me pull up my
because it's 3 weeks, right?
Good old calendar here. 18th, 1, 2. So it's either going to be the 19th or 26th of November. Those are the day. One of those 2 days.
So the week before Thanksgiving or the week of Thanksgiving.
One of those 2 days, should be the day is on our final order cutoff, which if it's at that point, Kevin Sharp, baby, I'm just saying, Team 2019. So one more. I know we're not there yet.
Again, this is a trolling thing.
One more hurdle past. Doomsday Clock.
Quick question. Do you know where these...
Technically, Doomsday Clock is over. He finished drawing it in 2019. I won. It's over.
It's not in stores. There could have been an error. There may be something that was removed. There could have been something that was accidentally looked like a swastika or a penis put in there, and they could remove it.
Well, there's definitely penises in it. So.
But I have a question for you. Where is it being printed? Because I'm just curious if it's in a PG&E shutoff area.
Oh no, it'd be Canada. They're all printed in Canada, so it definitely would not. Definitely not.
Why is it not printed in the United States?
Nothing's printed in the United States. The hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, comics are all printed in Canada. So that is it for our wonderful topics this week. We do have some questions on Patreon. If it would load, let me get to that.
It's called the Internet
It's
Sucking.
going to be here somewhere. Post. Hey, here we go.
Great
Here's our
radio.
posts.
This is why we have more people. It's more interacting because we
I
can.
got it.
So I'm going to talk to the invisible mic.
You want to be here at 9:30 again? No.
You and me are both. You and me are both.
We'll be out of here at like 8 o'clock. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm just so excited to go home. Jimmy Rivera asks, is HBO knocking it out of the park on their shows lately? Watchmen, Westworld, Chernobyl. How do you feel about HBO Max becoming the go-to for DC Universe television productions a la Netflix? Does DC Universe get folded in? Crossovers? I mean, I think it's weird, but I'm just going to go with what they're saying is that they're existing as two different things. I assume at some point they'll shut down DC Universe and just merge them with HBO Max, but for now, no, they're not.
Well,
so
the thing is like...
I don't know.
What's the point in having DC Universe? What's the point?
No, all these need to be on DC Universe. If you only want the DC stuff, get DC Universe. It has the comic books. Basically, everything should be on HBO Max.
Yes.
And all the DC stuff should be on DC Universe.
Yeah.
So it also comes with the comic books, the access to their store for their exclusive merchandise, and documentaries and other random shit they're going to put on there, right?
Yeah.
And the community forums and everything. So I don't mind them doing this.
Community forums.
I don't use them, but people do. I don't mind there being two different network or two different services.
You don't mind the two different services because basically, if you're on Warner Brothers streaming, you would basically, look, I'm going to go watch a DC show, and you just load into whatever the screen is for that. Like you're just accessing, like
it's the same.
You're just accessing this thing. It's just you tag it DC, and it's everything for DC.
Yeah,
goes
it should
to
be
that
the
app.
same thing. It should be the same thing on both. So,
or just Warner Brothers.
A couple questions from Chris Lockhart. He says, first, is the new HBO series Watchmen a sequel to the comic or the movie? It is 100% a sequel to the comic, but it's not even a sequel to the comic. Again, I want to wait till a few episodes more so we talk more about it and wait till a few other people are here that have watched it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance yet.
But it is not a sequel to the movie. It is a sequel to the comic, but it's not really a sequel. It just takes place in the same world years later.
It's not a direct right after the fact sequel.
No,
it is
not at
a
all.
it is a the show takes place in the comic book universe 30 years later.
Right.
So it's in the same vein, but it's not necessarily Watchmen.
Yeah, it's not picking up like Doomsday Clock is way more a direct sequel to Watchmen because it's involving a lot of the same characters.
Yeah, because it's only 5 years or 10 years.
Yeah, it's only a handful of years.
But that's for the Doomsday. That's for the Watchmen universe.
Right. He also says, "How do you guys doing with those California fires? Watching the news right now, and there's some scary stuff going on. We're smack dab in the middle of all of it.
Yep.
Like." Northern California is burning, like Napa Bay, other side of.
I know it's bad to laugh, but it's like Northern California is burning, Southern California is burning.
Yeah,
we're in the middle.
The Bay Area is smack dab in between major fires.
Yeah.
We're getting smoke from the Northern California fires.
So it was really bad on Sunday.
It didn't hit San Jose, but I heard it got really bad, like Sunnyvale, Mountain View.
On Sunday,
yeah.
I literally had to walk the dog at night with my I normally wear a bandana on my head.
Yeah,
I had to put it over my face.
Yeah. So I've had power.
I've had over my face. I know it covered my mouth.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So I had the power outages in my house because I'm up in the hills. No power lost down in the bay. San Francisco down to downtown San Jose. None of that. But if you lived in the hills, if you live in the woods.
So I didn't know this.
If you live on the coast,
Santa Clara County apparently it has this ginormous amount of land that is, I mean, we stretch almost to the 5 at Pacheco Pass, and that's what, 30-minute drive.
So longer than that. Santa Clara County, which is the county that we are in, is humongous.
Yeah, it's Mountain View.
It's just many people don't live in 80% of it, right? San Jose West for a number of cities, but it goes south and southeast for, I don't know, 200 miles or something? It's humongous. It's just
it's not 200 miles.
100 some odd miles? It's pretty far.
That's like how
Pull up
far
a map.
Pacheco?
I'm just saying, it is pretty far. There's a huge chunk that PG&E powers for this, for our county and obviously all of Northern California, or most of Northern California. So it's a ton of area around here. So yeah, if you lived in any of the more rural areas of Santa Clara County, if you live in the woods, the hills, any of the mountain areas, Santa Cruz, anywhere where there could be dry brush, they were killing your power. I know some people are still out.
So the total area is 1,304 square miles.
For Santa Clara County.
1,290 of that is land.
Yeah.
And then 14 of it is water.
Yeah, and I'm sure 700 of that is the forests.
Well, I mean, our population is estimated
20 million, maybe?
Almost 2 million.
2 million? Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess San Jose is only 1 million, huh?
Yeah. It's the thing is it's the density.
Well, we're all shoved to one side. Yeah, it's not that much in the rest.
But as for the fires, it's like for where you are, I still get the notice in Sunnyvale.
Yeah, because you could be turned off.
I could be turned off, but I'm not going to be because I'm not in one of those zones.
No, we're up in the hills. We're across from a state park. Lots of dry brush up there. If you're in the Santa Clara, Santa Cruz Hills, which are south of us, going up north of San Francisco to Napa Valley, that's where all the wineries are. All that lost power. Sonoma is where the big fire is. That's north and northeast. So, yeah, terrible fires up there. All the ones in LA, I mean, people, if you're not in California, you kind of don't really know the size of California. The fires in Los Angeles are 500 miles from us, right?
Yeah.
I was telling the guys over at Big Bang, I'm like, you are closer. In Dublin, Ireland, you are closer to London than I am to these fires.
Yeah.
But that said, it's still here, right? I mean, we still see the effects of it, and we know people affected by it. So,
and I mean, last year with the campfire,
which is the really bad one.
That one, I mean,
114 people died, 100 and something people died.
But the air quality was bad for
miserable,
3 weeks.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of days there where it was just so bad that you couldn't go outside. You couldn't go outside. Yeah. But yeah, no, for the most part, I mean, again, we have drought conditions. That's the problem.
Yep.
Spark and.
Mikhail, he's got a number of questions. Let's power through a few of these.
Powering through.
Who in the show has been reading Event Leviathan, and what do you think? I have. I love it. It's amazing.
It's great. I've been enjoying it. I'm like, tell me who Leviathan is already.
We kind of know, or we think we know.
We kind of know, but
it's
gonna. They're just gonna.
Don't know. Next issue's out very soon.
At this rate, I'm like, it's Thunderbolt Ross.
Find out very soon. Thunderbolt Ross. If I like a lot of what Bendis did at Marvel. I was a little burned out with some of it. He found his spark again. His DC stuff has been kicking ass.
Yeah, it is. I'm sitting there going, Manhunter, somebody do a Manhunter comic again.
Oh, I love it. He says, are there any character team-ups for Marvel or DC that you'd like to see that you haven't seen for a while? Is there any good team-ups? I mean, we have Blue and Gold recent. I need myself a new Justice League International book. I need I need that blue and gold, but I want Fire and Ice. We're just talking. I want Red Rocket. I want Nort.
Fucking Nort.
I want those guys back. They're so good.
Team up that we haven't gotten in a while.
Nova's coming back with Annihilation. I need Nova. I need Nova back.
It's Annihilation.
Huh?
It's Annihilation something. It's not.
Yeah,
just
whatever it
Annihilation.
is. Give me my Nova, Speedball, Firestar, Justice.
Give you your new
Night
Warriors
Thrasher.
back.
Give me my new Warriors.
The real
new Warriors.
Would the real new Warriors please stand up?
Yes.
God, team ups. It's hard to say at Marvel because Marvel pumps out just so much stuff that at some point there's been a team up that hasn't been around for a while. Trying to think of like DC team ups.
No.
I mean, we're getting a Strange book, so I don't know. I think I'd like a Brave and the Bold series again to kind of
team up random characters.
Team up random characters, because a lot of decent stories came out of that last one. So
yeah,
but yeah, no.
Let's see.
Do we have another one?
Yeah. He's got a couple questions here. Let's. It says, for you to, well, it's kind of worded weird, but it says for you to buy it, would it depend more on the artistic team making a book or the characters featured in the book? And we talk about this pretty regularly. I'm pretty much writer first, character second, artist third. That's usually how I am.
I think it also depends on the team, though.
Oh, there are like you could put Tom King and any of his people on any book, and I would read anything they do. Right?
I mean, Jeff Lemire and Andre Sorrentino's Gideon Falls is fantastic.
Yeah. There are a lot of books that I read where I'm like, well, this character is whatever, but I love the creative team. Right? Yeah. There's a lot of books I read where I'm like, well, whatever, the creative team is whatever, but I love the character. Mm-hmm. It really is 50-50. I mean, I want the best of both, but I'll read either as long as I like one of the elements.
2 out of 3.
Yeah, if the writing is absolute garbage, I probably won't read it, regardless of how good the art is. But if the writing is fine and I love the character, then I'll stick with it. See Nightwing. If the writing is terrible and the art is terrible,
but it's a character you want,
it would have to be like top couple characters for me to stick with it. I don't know why. I mean, it'd be pretty hard for me not to buy Batman. But they would never put like a bad creative team on Batman. So like it's sort of like if it's a trash miniseries, I just won't buy it because it's not the main book, right?
That's cool.
Yeah, sure, exactly, right. So, from Tyler, he says, "Could you elaborate on Big Bang's comics thread? I retweeted about one shots and miniseries. I know Marvel has so many number ones out in December with 2099, Annihilation, Scourge. Are things like that harmful?" How does that compare to the minis from Black Label or Silver Surfer Black that tie into Gates' Guardians and Venom run? So retweeted a big thread from friends over at Big Bang Comics, and they had a big talk about just the fucking endless, kind of pointless miniseries and one-shots coming out of not only Marvel, but a lot of the independent companies as well, and there's some from DC as well. DC's not DC had
to the...
Yeah, DC's not immune to this. They do too.
Well, they're doing that. I mean, they're doing a lot of the Giants right now, which
DC's got a lot coming out.
Like they have a lot of the Giants coming out. They're testing the waters with the horror books. Yeah. So we're getting Basket Full of Heads from Joe Hill. That's out.
Well, I think, and then what DC has curated their stuff a little bit more. They still can put out too much stuff from time to time. We were really low. Now we're a little bit too high, or not too high, but getting there. Yeah. But it's fine. I think DC's still okay. They have some interesting, unique stuff. Not going to work for everyone, but I think it holds its own. The independent market is all over the place. Companies are going to do whatever they want to do. There's so many books from Image, Oni, IDW, Dark Horse that we don't sell a single copy of on the shelf, that I don't sell a single copy of, period, let alone subscribers.
Valiant, at least you have a handful of subscribers for stuff, but it's all minis.
Everything is minis, every company, because there is no life, especially in the independent markets, for ongoing titles. Yeah. Things just can't last, right? Nobody buys these things long-term anymore. People, the people that are really reading it will get the graphic novel, but a lot of people won't even last stick with them. They'll never get to the graphic novel, right? They'll get one volume and then it's canceled. Marvel, as normal, tends to be kind of the worst problem with this, and that they have so many one-shots, so many miniseries that are just sort of thrown out there. Why do you have 2099 and Annihilation events going on at the same time? You can't... and X-Men, right? And the whole X-Men thing. You can't focus on this. So you have all these one-shots. One-shots released weekly in the course of a month. Why not make this a graphic novel? Why not make this 5 issues over 5 months? Make it a miniseries at least. You have Absolute Carnage, and you have all these tie-ins that nobody gives a fuck about. All these miniseries that people don't care about, right? They burn through this content so fucking quickly. Annihilation could be cool, but you have 5 one-shots coming out in 5 weeks, and there's nothing. It seems like it's not picking up into anything. It's just sort of, that's over. The 2099
it's all the stuff. What was it? The Infinity stuff, the last Infinity thing that happened.
All those books. Yeah, the Infinity Wars is just they shit out a ton of stuff, then it's over, right? I at least believe the main Absolute Carnage book will then dovetail back into Venom, and they're going to do more stuff with it. But a lot of this stuff, it's just very unclear where they're going with it. And as a store, there's no space to rack this stuff. There's no one cares about it the week after it's out.
Yep.
If you're not pre-ordering it, you're not going to get it probably, because a lot of this stuff, even though it looks cool, like there's nobody cares.
Yeah.
With an ongoing book, at least you have the ability to, or a monthly book, you have the ability to get people in, or a monthly miniseries. I mean, get people in, get people reading. They come back for it. You can sort of judge your orders up and down. People can kind of have a few weeks to check it out. 5 issues in 5 weeks. I don't mind weekly series like New 52. No,
52 worked really well because again, 52 was they knew what they were telling us. They told us exactly what was happening.
It was one book.
It wasn't the only time it branched out was at the end when they were like, "Shit, we can't finish this in time," so they had to do the extra. They did the World War III.
Well, those are all separate. I mean, they never missed a week or anything.
No, but like the World War III stuff was supposed to be, I think, in the 52 book itself. Because I don't remember that one. Because the other ones around it, they solicited.
Yeah.
But those didn't come out weekly. Those came out like once a month towards,
I don't remember. But anyway, I mean, I'm not against a weekly series, but never-ending 5-issue series where you're just rehashing your same titles over and over and over again. It's just that there's nobody cares.
Well, because we're going to get Absolute Venom in February,
and our orders are just nothing on this stuff, right? Nobody's pre-ordering it. Nobody cares. So, yeah.
No, because I think the event books for Marvel.
It's harmful for Marvel. It's not harmful to me. If customers don't buy them, I don't order them. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
If your store's ordering a shitload of stuff and it's getting stuck on the shelf, that's the store's fault. Like, people should realize how to order comics by this point. Yeah, I don't get stuck.
They have an app for that.
Yeah, they do. I don't get stuck with this stuff. I mean, maybe a couple copies here and there, but I sell through 90% of it to subscribers, right? And if people are subscribing to it, whatever. I mean, that's their prerogative, right? Mm-hmm. They buy it. That's cool. But yeah, it's ridiculous. I tweeted something out. There's something like 39 number ones from Marvel in January. And a lot of it's the dollar reprints, right? Mm-hmm. But they're called number ones, right? They're a number one issue.
Well, you look at all
the one shots.
So DC's doing their Tales of the Dark Multiverse.
Hold on, look at the Amazing Spider-Man: The Full Circle, right? That is an awesome creative team. It's a $10 one shot book. I sold like 5 copies of it. Like everyone involved in Spider-Man currently, other people. What's his face? Is doing X-Men. Hickman's writing it, right? It's like this should have been a huge event miniseries. Instead, it's just a thing that just shot out that nobody even cared about.
Yeah.
It's super weird.
Well, and the thing is like remember when Amazing Spider-Man was like 3 times a month, and then they did the extra.
Yeah.
Right. Like I can get behind that because it's planned that way. But
yeah.
Like you said. Oh, let's just get a whole bunch of people to write something, and then we'll put it out as a $10 book. Okay, well, one, it's $10.
Yeah.
So you already have a hard selling point there.
Wonder Woman 750 with Adam Hughes cover. Yeah, $9.99. I'm okay with. Right,
like the list of creative teams. Like
it's the one-time thing.
Yeah, it's a one-time thing. It's within the thing. Within the numbering of the series.
And there's promotion. There's push for it. There's a reason for this to exist.
I didn't hear anything about Full Circle before.
Yeah, I mean, just looking on the shelf here, I'm just kind of skimming the top shelf.
How many Conan books do we have now?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm down to 3 to 4 copies on those Conan miniseries. The only reason I have stacks on the shelf is because Marvel ships us a bunch of free ones. The Absolute Carnage minis that aren't the main book die in the vine, right?
Yeah.
Agents of Atlas, Amazing Mary Jane. These are miniseries.
Oh, here you go. Agents of Wakanda.
Oh, Agents of Wakanda. All right, these are all miniseries that they just call an ongoing for some reason.
Like Dr. Doom.
What's that?
Dr. Doom.
I mean, I can see Doom lasting a little while. That sold okay, right? I mean, it's not what's on my shelf. It's what's not on my shelf.
Yeah.
So many books where I'm like, no subscribers, I get none, or 1 or 2 subscribers, I get 2, and I don't rack them, right?
No.
I'm not stocking Arrow or Night. I don't even know what the book's called. Swordmaster. I'm stocking that shit. The Future Fight stuff. I mean, I order a couple copies and sell it on Wednesday because people like the cover. Like nobody's reading those, right? All the Absolute Carnage one shots and minis, those are ordered to sell out, and I can't even do that with the last couple. That tells you how bad they're selling.
Yep.
Those 2099 books, again, I'm ordering 8 to 10 copies,
well,
and that's
again,
with 5 or 6 subscribers.
And the difficult part is there's no real advertising, there's no real lead up, so you can't go, hey, do you want to get the whole thing and like pre-sell the whole thing?
I mean, if you're Marvel, you go, look, we're gonna have a 3-month event in Amazing Spider-Man because there's 2 issues a month. We're gonna do the return of the 2099 universe. Spider-Man's gonna go to 2099. At the end of that, we're gonna have Spider-Man 2099 in 2099 being its own book, and then Universe 2099, where we're going to explore all the other characters. We're going to launch out of this with 2 ongoing titles with big creative, 2 monthly ongoing titles, good creative teams, strong presence. Now they just shit out 10 one-shots in 2 months, and it's over. It's done, all right?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point of this? Those alphas and omegas. It's just so confusing.
The problem is if people, I think, are starting to feel like Marvel, like when you're publishing, like you said, you're just shitting it out.
Yeah.
People are like, well, I don't care. Yeah. Like, I don't want your garbage that you're not even going to care about or put any effort in. We had a customer coming in that goes, oh, the 2099 stuff. It's like, yeah, because they need to do it this year. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense. Right?
Because of the
2019?
We're 80 years of Marvel and 80 years to 2099, so we're smack dab in the middle. So again, what a perfect time to launch an ongoing 2099 title. And instead we're getting this random 10 issues in 2 months. Oh, no, it's like 14 issues in 2 months because of the crossovers in The Amazing Spider-Man. It's like 10 or 14, I can't remember how. It's a lot, though. It's a lot of comics. Yeah, and that's going to kill any interest in it, so whatever. It's over. Verum Libertas asks, Donny Cates on Thor. Hyper nah. How many books is he writing now? Well, he's off Guardians.
Well, what's Jason Aaron not writing?
Yeah, he's flip-flop. So after Thor, he'll write Avengers. After Jason Aaron is off Avengers. I'm excited for Thor. It should be good. I haven't read his Guardians stuff yet, so that's one of the books in my little pile to catch up on. I've been reading through Venom. Venom's been okay. Like, I'm not a big Venom guy, but it's fun enough.
His redneck's great.
I haven't read any of that stuff. And I like Thor. Jason Aaron's Thor has gone a little long in the tooth for me. I liked it, but I thought this last arc was pretty bad.
The arc was atrocious.
It's awful.
I think Jason Aaron's Thor is one of the prime examples of everything Marvel can do wrong as a publishing company while he wrote that book.
Well, like 7 number ones.
Yeah, 7 number ones, constant relaunchings.
Yeah.
Art that is complete and utter, like, just doesn't fit the book.
Yeah,
we have a random mini-series that we shove in there. Oh, Unworthy Thor.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Now King Thor to end it. Like,
yeah,
why?
Like, why? Like,
it's so confusing.
If people could just go and pick up... Like, it was Thor, God of Thunder. Boom.
You have a Jason Aaron run, Thor, God of Thunder, done.
Yeah.
Right?
100 issues.
100 and some odd issues.
Done.
You get what?
Imagine if Tom King was on his 7th Batman #1 by now.
Fuck.
I mean, can you imagine? Can you fucking even imagine?
No, Nightmares would have killed it, right? Like,
yeah. Oh my god, I would have.
Jesus.
Yeah, that would have been the worst.
Well, and the worst part was when they did the not even 12 issues of the female Thor, and they renumbered
it again.
Yeah. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah,
like,
it's just so annoying. But yeah, no, Donny Cates. I like him. He's good. Yeah, I think he'd be good on Thor. I mean, again, he's off Guardians, so
but
it's
Aaron, Cates, and Hickman right now, right?
On like
and
kind of
Slott,
Marvel's big guys.
The Marvel's big guys.
Yeah. I mean, Dan Slott's doing some good stuff, but yeah, I mean, I think it's Hickman and Donny Cates. Yeah, even Jason Aaron, like Avengers and Thor, not what they were. War of the Realms was okay, but again, talk about another book that didn't need. So I mean. Infinity Wars was what killed me for reading like the side miniseries and one-shots and specials. I want to put a bullet on my head after trying to read some of those Infinity Warps issues. It is the worst fucking garbage.
Well, like we said,
I started
the War of Realms. It's like, okay, this is something that's happening in Thor, but it's
18 miniseries. I read like the first issue of 2 or 3 of those, and I was like, no. Main book only, and Thor, obviously. I'm like, I can't read these. These are so fucking pointless.
Yeah.
I'm done. And final question for Patreon. We got 1 or 2 from Twitter here, but Zach Johnson, thoughts on Superman ditching his secret identity? I was skeptical at first, but after hearing Bendis talk more about it, I'm pretty excited. It's nice to have Superman books draw some big attention. Zach, that's a question I had for DC as well. I did ask on the retailer forum. It seems like a really big story that's not getting any coverage. Superman's going to be revealing his secret identity to the world. Not a New 52, not a hoax, not an imaginary story. This is a real thing.
Well, John's off with the Legion. He's growing to be a man.
Well, this feels like this should be a very, very big story and a very big event from DC, and it's a little under the radar. People aren't talking about it. FOC on that issue. Is it Sprint 18? Is that the issue it is? I'm really pestering DC because a couple big news stories in legit media could make this an issue people are suddenly coming and looking for. So yeah, I gotta look up one. FOC for that hasn't happened yet. It's 17 and 18. I believe it's 17 and 18 are like the lead into it. So I did get some news to this because I asked him, and Brian Michael Bendis replied to me on Twitter and said, yes, I believe it's 17. I'm going to say 17. I don't have the issue in front of me. Is a direct lead in to what happens prior. I totally forgot to ask him about this. So yes, I hope this is a really big thing, and I did bump my numbers a bit on that issue. Not crazy, but I definitely bumped them. Yeah, I did that I did that literally like an hour before FOC closed the other week. So I'm glad I did. No, we'll see. We'll see what happens when he reveals identity. I'm hopeful. It should be a cool story.
Well, he's why he's doing it, right?
I don't,
because everyone is slut shaming Lois.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's it. Couple questions from Twitter. Jeremy,
the Twitter sphere,
who had a nice conversation with us. He's on the hub now. His store's on the hub. Had to walk him through a few things the other day, so that was good. Got him up, getting some orders done and some reorders processed.
Nice.
So yeah. He says, I feel like the industry's finally got the week of Halloween right. Plenty of really nice titles centered around horror coming out this week. The Plot, Basket of Heads, Deceased. What are your thoughts? Yeah, totally. I like it when they do this.
No, like I was about to talk about Tales of the Dark Multiverse earlier.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
with the whole minis and one shots and stuff, and it's like they're not like they're part of Halloween, but they're also part of expanding.
I mean, they're dark. I wouldn't say Halloween, but
dark. But expanding that whole horror darkness, blah 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 blah. But doing it with a character that we've seen has been established, has been around 2 years now. Right, with the Batman Who Laughs and all, and everything that's going on with Infected. And so we got, there's a kind of a reason for us to see these
Elseworlds, right? Not to mention they're also pairing it up with the dollar book of the story that it's kind of
Death of Superman,
like going off of. So the Superman one is the Death of Superman, which is Superman 75. Yep. Last week was Nightfall, so it was 492 from Batman, right, where Bane breaks his back. So like it's cool that they're kind of tying it in so people can be like, oh, look, I can grab the dollar book and this and kind of read what this is spinning out of.
Yeah.
No, I like when stuff is connected like that.
Well, one thing I know a lot of stores have said, it's cool to get some stuff the week of, but it's also cool to get stuff the week kind of prior as a lead up. The first week of December is a great week for a Christmas themed book because it gives us a few weeks to sell it, right?
Yeah.
They did the villain one, the Hunted. What was it called? The DC did the $10.
Spooktacular. That one came out. The DC Spooktacular. That was out 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I haven't read it yet.
Oh, it's called.
It's the Spooktacular one.
No, it's called the. It's like the villain cavalcade, whatever. I can't remember what it's called. It's not called Spooktacular. I don't know what that is.
I thought it was.
No,
I
mean, they've had.
The one you're thinking of was one that was released a while ago.
Well, anyway, I like it when they do give you a few weeks on it. But yes, there's some good books out this week, and I think it's better than coming next week.
Yes,
which
true.
I'm sure at least one horror themed book will be out next week. That's just what seems to happen. From Joshua, he says, what are your hopes of the Green Lantern show? Ryan Reynolds cameo? Jeff Johns stories? Early days where he's big to wood and yellow? I want Hal, John, Guy, and Kyle with a little cameo from maybe throw in some Arissa,
John Stewart.
Mesa. Well, I just said with John and Kyle and Guy and Hal,
Boz, Jessica Cruz.
I mean, but they may go
Nort.
I totally want Nort. They may go. They may take Far Sector, which is the new book coming up. As it's
that one, I'm unsure.
Oh, that's really good.
I'm gonna look at it. But
I mean,
I'm
this
unsure.
could be not related in any way, shape, or form to Human Green Lanterns. This could be no way, shape, or form related to Hal Jordan. This could be a totally different thing, which I get. That could be cool, too. I don't know. Obviously, I want Jeff Johns' Green Lantern to run in television show format, just start to finish. Just pure. I want Larfleeze and Atrocitus, and I want freaking, Dexstar. And
Dexstar.
I want the glow. I want the disco ball lantern, and I want... Give me some Arisa, man. Fucking cast her. Put her in the show.
You're going to get some of the...
so good.
Some of those...
I want a Blackest Night TV show mini-series event. So fucking good.
That would be pretty good.
Ulysses says, I'm more excited about HBO Max than Disney Plus, and I don't even like Disney. Well, that's probably why. Are you guys looking forward to it? Yeah, of course. Will Daredevil get renewed for Season 4 on Disney Plus or Hulu? I'll get it if they do. There was some random talk that like they want to talk to the Daredevil guys, redo something the other week.
It was Secrets of Sinister House.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it was. But nah, I think those shows are dead.
Which ones?
Daredevil and the Netflix shows.
Yeah, the Netflix shows are I think they're streamlining it more for the WandaVision, Hawkeye, that feel versus the dark and gritty and stuff that we got from the Netflix universe.
Yeah. Timothy says, what's going on with the Marvel Epic Collections? Step 1, have a great idea where people can get rare or too expensive runs affordably. Step 2, have key volumes go out of print instantly.
He summed it up there.
Have you seen the prices on eBay? I don't get it. Explain. Okay, Epic Collections. Here we go. Here's the full story. A couple years ago, Marvel Comics said, we have this fucking bananas idea.
Well, it's not really an original bananas idea. They were doing this with the Masterworks, but they were so goddamn expensive.
Masterworks are in order.
Yeah, but they're expensive as shit.
So you go back 2013, I think is when they started this. They decided to release very well-priced, not large, like oversized, like tall, but oversized and thick graphic novels collecting various times during classic Marvel, so 1960 to 1996, right, before Heroes Reborn and the relaunch stuff, right? So Amazing Spider-Man 1 to 400 and whatever it went to. They decided to do this, number them on the back, and map out the entire thing. So one of the first volumes you got was Spider-Man Volume 22. Of course, it doesn't say it on the spine, but it says it on the back. And the intent here was they're going to do this for almost every major character series. So Amazing Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, X-Men, Thor, right. Iron Man,
Avengers,
Cap, Power Man and Iron Fist, Defenders, right? Black Panther. And so even if the character has... Right, even if a character like, Moon Knight has 17 different, not that many, like 5 or 6 different volumes, it's all going to be one fully collected series. Now, Peter Parker Spider-Man is not in Amazing Spider-Man, right? I mean, Excalibur is not in X-Men. They have their own books. Yeah. But they cross over when need be, right? The crossovers are there. And this sounded way too good to be true. But they kept at it and kept at it and kept at it. And people really started getting hooked in these Epic collections. And then what happened was many of these issues started to go out of print, the early ones. FF1, X-Men 1, Surfer 1, a couple random issues of Thor, a couple Avengers, I think the Avengers Last Stand, Amazing Spider-Man, right. Some of these started to go out of print. A retailer by the name of Ryan Higgins took it upon himself to contact the Marvel rep numerous times about these books and said,
What the fuck are you doing?
Look, we're not the biggest graphic novel shop in the world, but we have a lot of people that want to buy these Epic collections. What is the deal with these books going out of print? I can't. If I can't get some of these volumes, it's really hard to sell.
Yeah.
All right. So they said, well, we just don't have reorders on them. People are just not ordering them, right? They sit around the warehouse. They're up for reorder, and nobody reorders them. A request, if it goes back order, nobody back orders them. How the system works is this: Marvel Comics has 5,000. Marvel Comics has 5,000 copies of a book in print. It sells all 5,000 copies. It sits there in Diamond's warehouse with an order up that says, if you would like more copies, order them through a system called a back order. We will pass those back orders on to Marvel. If Marvel or whatever company gets enough back orders, they will reprint this book and give it back in the stores. So since stores weren't back ordering stuff, the things didn't get printed. Now, a problem with this was stores could not back order stuff because the system for a lot of these books was marked to sold out and did not allow for back orders.
Yep.
So I informed Marvel of this a couple months ago at this point, and they reopened all of those books up for back orders. But still, many stores are not back ordering product because the idea is you order this, maybe you get it down the road, maybe you don't. Anyway, they are reprinting a number of these books, including some of the ones I mentioned, some of the books I need for my own collection, including Spider-Man 22, X-Men #1. FF #1's a really weird one because we've been told multiple times it's coming back into print, and it hasn't yet. Now, here's the catch. The reprints are direct market only. Only comic book stores are going to have them. They will not be on Amazon unless it's from a third-party seller. They will not be at Target. They will not be at Walmart. They will not be at Barnes & Noble or Best Buy. So if you want Amazing Spider-Man Volume 22, if you want X-Men Volume 1, I think Iron Man 1 may be one of the other ones. They're coming to comic book stores. A couple more have been announced to be reprinted. I believe the Bill Sienkiewicz New Mutants 1, which should be New Mutants Volume 3, I think, is coming back as well. Comic book store exclusive. So contact your comic shop. Have them look into these volumes. If you are a comic book shop, back order these books so Marvel knows there's demand for these books. If you're a customer, tell your store to back order them. You are okay if it ships later. If it's Avengers Last Stand, which is like a $300 book on Amazon, right? Last Stand, that what it's called? I believe that's the volume. Tell your store, yes, please, back order me a copy through Diamond because that shows Marvel there's demand for these books. I sell a lot of these Epic collections. I have multiple customers who are all in every single volume.
We've done plenty of reorders that are like
Every single
another
one.
5. Give me another 5 this week. Give me another. Like,
we just restock and restock all the different volumes, and they sell. And I'm surprised how many we sell, especially of the volume ones, to kids who are like, I want to read this first Spider-Man comics. I'm like, well, you might not actually want to, but yes, we have this.
Yeah.
All the all the Marvel Masterworks, I mean, everything's out of print, right? All this original Marvel Masterworks stuff's been out of print for years and years. So the epics are really your best way to get classic 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s Marvel comics at very reasonable prices. Mm-hmm. But because of the way the backorder systems work and because of the way the stores had not been ordering them, and Marvel just thought nobody wanted them, right? Yeah. So...
Well, and not to mention that there's the Star Wars books.
A couple of the Star Wars volume ones are out of print as well.
And those are reprinting the Dark Horse stuff.
Right.
And in a much nicer format than the
Dark
trades
Horse
we had before. So
I really, really hope people backorder these books, that Marvel gets the
heads up, or at least something like, there's communication going on, because, again, something like those number ones for each of those are something that you kind of want to keep in print.
Yeah.
Good stories good stories like Venom for Spider-Man, or Armor Wars for Iron Man. Like those ones, those Epic Collection numbers you want to keep in print. But like all the randos in between,
there's some random ones that can go away. Don't get me wrong. But what I told Marvel was this: look, you have a lot of ones that are going to go out of print every month. Every other month, just reprint one.
Yeah.
Whatever if you look on Amazon and the book is $400, reprint it.
Yep.
There's a demand for this book. Power Man and Iron Fist Volume 7 goes out of print and it's selling for half cover on eBay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Put it off. Don't worry about it for a while. There's copies out there. There's stock out there.
Or fucking Disney that shit. Put it in a vault for 7 years.
But bring it back.
Bring it back. And hell, bring it back with new cover art.
But same format.
Right? Like
X-Men 1, Fantastic Four 1, Spider-Man 1, Hulk 1, Thor 1, Iron Man 1, Avengers 1. Every single volume 1 must be imprinted all times.
Yep.
Past that, have them come and go. But go back and again, look at those prices on Amazon. Those are people paying some of those prices. Look on eBay. Look at finished auctions, Marvel. You know how to do this. I can give you the list. I can tell you which ones are in demand. If people are paying $250 for these books, they'll goddamn buy it if it's $39.99.
Yeah.
Okay? So, comic shop, do some back orders on these, at least the volume ones.
Well, hell, the guy selling one for $250 is going to buy 3 of them and then turn around and sell them each for $50. But still, you'll get 3 sales out of that.
If you're a customer, tell your shop specifically to back order the volumes that you're missing. If they may come in a while, they may get canceled, but at least you're telling Diamond
and the other positive thing about
Marvel
these
is
the paper stock is solid. The
newer paper stock's thinner than the old stock.
They've changed it again?
It's that thinner Marvel stock, but it's fine. It's fine for the price point. It's fine.
There you go, Marvel, changing your paper stock again.
Yeah.
Because how many people are still complaining about the cover stock and the ink coming off of books?
I mean, whatever. Nobody cares anymore. Nothing you can do about it. All right, we have got to quite a few questions. That is going to be it for this week. I get out here at a fairly reasonable hour.
No, it's not allowed.
We have a bunch of wonderful people on Patreon. If you would like to be on our next big Patreon
shout out list,
yeah, you got a couple days left. This will go through the first. So jump over to patreon.com/comicconspiracy and be like some of these fine folks. Joe Duff, Sam Che, Andrew Nelson Mendez, who has the Recovery of an Anime Junkie podcast. Go check out that podcast. Craig Anderson, who runs his own business over at craigpanderson.com. He's doing a lot of...
He's a professional life coach.
Yes, that's exactly what I was about to say.
He will help you be a better you.
Yeah, if you want to...
without murdering yourself and giving your clone your brain.
If you want to check him out, if you want to check out his services, go over to craigpanderson.com, longtime friend of the podcast. Jimmy Rivera has the Social Forum podcast. That's Social Forum, FOURUM.buzzsprout.com. It's about relationships, work, and the happy hours. And, of course, James Laws. Thank you guys all his shop, he's taking over a shop, should be opening it's open, but he should be taking over fully very soon. I told him to send me some pictures and send me some info once it's all up so we can promote the store and so you guys can check it out if you're in the area. Of course, go to comicconspiracypodcast.com, geekbox.net, and Apple Podcasts for all our previous episodes. Rate and review us. It always helps. If you go to youtube.com/comicsconspiracy for if you want to cruise around that YouTube, you can listen to us on there. No lovely pictures or video of us, just all audio.
Oh, you're so nice saying lovely pictures.
The Comic Conspiracy at geekbox.net, where you can send some long-form questions. Of course, comicsconspiracy.biz is our store website for Comics Conspiracy. Mm-hmm. You can order product from there every Wednesday, or Tuesday night technically, but Wednesday morning, all our new books are up there for the week. You can order stuff from there. We have a lot of regular orders. Of course, if you want to set up a subscription for us, through us, for comic books, graphic novels, toys, etc., go to customer.comichub.com, make an account there, choose Comics Conspiracy as your store, and we'll be in touch very soon with some more information. I just finished up the new instructions for the new Comic Hub website. The app is still the old version, but the website's got its pretty much full remodel. So if you have any interest,
I got to go back and relearn, try and do the slits again.
I'll send you my text file, or I'll send you my email on how to use the site. It's fine. It's fine now. It's fine now compared to what it was last month.
So I just have to click DC variants,
and current catalog.
Go.
You're good. Yep.
I'm good.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all you got to do.
But
of course, if you want to see Marvel or Image or other titles,
Marvel.
you have to.
Will it show me? Oh shit!
Someone's here.
I think it's Toby. Will it show me the books that I'm ordering?
Yes. Okay. Yes, it will. Yeah, it just only won't show you on the playlist.
Oh, okay.
Of course, conspiratorbaroque.com, Wanderers of the Fourth Dimension podcast, and LeanneHill.com. That is my wife Leanne's Etsy stores is linked on there.
I even get a short.
conspiratorbaroque.com is Brock's blog, video pull list, and unboxing videos. Of course, Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension is Charlie's Doctor Who podcast.
Oh!
Whoa!
I am here.
Toby's here.
Now we can begin.
You're an hour and a half late.
Now we begin.
Ryan Higgins, that's me on Twitter. Brock is Brock Saber.
Did you see about this article the other day?
Brock Sager. Toby is Toby XI. The store is Comics Con Store. And you should check out the Geek Box, which I am on. And our good friends over at Manga Machinations.
You're an ass.
Because I like those people quite a bit.
God.
And they're good friends of ours.
I know they're.
And I guess you don't have to worry about the other two things. because I don't want to get yelled at by Bryce again.
Good.
Toby, article are you talking about?
You're making us go longer. That's fine.
Yeah,
it's the surprise ending.
It's my purpose in life.
Are you going to get HBO Max?
I don't even know about it.
Not HBO Max? They announced a Green Lantern TV show today.
With David Ramsey?
They haven't said who.
David Ramsey, baby.
It's, what's his name?
Who?
What's his name?
Guggenheim?
No.
Berlanti.
Berlanti's 21st TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Ramsey. Spinoff.
And they're also
talk about
doing a Strange Adventures show.
Yeah.
And
based
DC
on the
Anthology.
book that what's his face hasn't written yet.
Yep. DC Anthology.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Toby.
Yeah.
I'm going to put Toby in the credits, and people are going to be like, the fuck? Toby's not in this episode.
Well, we never got to do New York Comic Con yet.
If you want to talk for a few minutes.
I have an hour, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You know they planned this, right?
Okay, I guess Toby shut up. We'll do New York Comic Con next week. Show up. Okay, I'm expecting Scott to roll up here any minute now. So
Kevin will be right with him. They'll be drunk.
Time, so that's what happens when we actually start early for once. All right, that's it, guys. We will catch you next week.